Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest is scheduled for one fall. Help me introduce first, from Vancouver, Canada, weighing in tonight at 215 pounds, Brett, the Canadian Beef Matthews.
CCW fans, this is Breakout 19, Naughty or Nice. Blake Chadwick alongside the legendary Taskmaster Kevin Sullivan, live here in Pompano Beach at the CCW Arena. Our final weekend of events of the year, the final opportunity for the stars of CCW to prove their worth to management as we head into 2023.
This is a wonderful place to be at tonight. It's the training center for CCW. If you want to learn how to wrestle, this is the place. CCW is not just alive, it is on fire. Some of the greatest matches I have been happy to watch is right here at CCW.
What's going on here with Brett Matthews? Canadian. The undefeated Bulgarian Punisher chiseled out of granite, Kevin.
I am very impressed with him. He is what you call the prototype of a perfect wrestler.
The proverbial blue chipper is Meto, the Bulgarian Punisher, once again, who made his CCW debut about a year ago, has been moving right up the charts. He has yet to be pinned inside of a CCW ring. And as we're heading into the new year, Kevin, he has a huge opportunity January 7th at Bash at the Brew to kick off the new year as he goes one-on-one with Alex Chamberlain for the Southeastern Championship.
It's going to be an incredible match. Alex Chamberlain, I've said this before, the closest I can put Alex Chamberlain, he reminds me of a great late Johnny Cash. Not a wasted mode.
What an incredible comparison there. And Chamberlain certainly wants to live up to that billing, as he has been very dominant in CCW. As once again, we have back-to-back events this weekend, Kevin, starting here with Naughty or Nice, then we're heading up to Port St. Lucie, Florida tomorrow night for an incredible event at the Mid-Florida Event Center, expected to be almost 500 in the house as we're officially getting started here with Brett Matthews and Meto.
I think this is going to be a great test. This Brett is in fine shape. He knows his moves, and he's in unbelievable kind of condition.
And Brett Matthews really looking to fly his straight all throughout the world. We saw him up in Canada, and now he's making a tour around the United States, into Mexico, really covering all of North America. And his stop in the last territory has had success, but again, with the undefeated Meto, something has to give.
Absolutely. And this will be a great test for both of them right now, because they're both in fine shape. So it's going to be, to me, who wants to win it the most.
And taking a look at a star like Meto, never having been pinned in a CCW environment as neither man able to move the other, two absolute monsters in there. But Meto never having been pinned before, Kevin, what sort of how does that affect his psyche knowing that a lot of pressure is on him?
You know, that's a great question, because every time the guy covers him, he's going to be in pressure to get out as quick as possible, and the pressure is on him. You want to keep the undefeated streak alive. This is a la Goldberg. He reminds me of a lot of Goldberg. If anybody can keep this streak alive, it's him.
And that's someone you certainly know very well from his streak nearly 25 years ago. And you take a look at the Bulgarian Punisher right here, certainly a lot of those same traits. And the intensity is one thing you can really look at as a difference maker.
Exactly, and
look at that! There's some power by Brett Matthews holding that waist lock. And Kevin, he's going to roll with him here for looks like maybe a series of German suplexes.
yes, and I think, here's the thing. The pressure is on him because he knows he's going to beat the champ in a short time.
And Meto reverses
to make
course.
a mistake. I'm sorry.
No, not a problem at all here, Kevin, but the action's starting to pick up as you see the power really on display by Meto.
Meto reminds me of oh, wow.
And nice job by Brett Matthews to create an opening right there, as the Canadian will do anything he can to try to get one over on Meto. There's a cover, and you're going to need a little bit more than that to get rid of the Bulgarian Punisher.
And here's the thing. He has nothing to lose. It's all on the Bulgarian champ. I mean, this is going to be all on him. He can't afford to make one mistake because if he does lose, he's going to end with a negative point of view to wrestle the champion later on.
Senior official Bruce Owens admonishing Brett Matthews right there. And Kevin, we're in a situation right here where the final weekend of the year, but we're seeing a lot of debuts in CCW, including a man you know very well, Andrew Anderson, competing 2 times this weekend.
Andrew Anderson is one of the best kept secrets of the wrestling business. Even though he's been around for over 20 years, people know who have seen him how difficult he is in the ring. And I'm glad that CCW reached out and got him. That was a real coup for them.
Andrew Anderson certainly could be a monster in there against Meto. That would be a matchup I would love to see. But Brett Matthews right now really looking to find that opening and pick up a signature win. If Brett Matthews can get by Meto, his name will be on the headlines all over the Southeast tomorrow.
Absolutely, but going back to Andrew had Lawrence Taylor spot him for special event for autism kids.
Here it goes, Ben. There's a cover, too. And Matthews nearly wins it.
For autism kids. And Andrew bench pressed 2 1/4, 72 repetitions.
That's literally a world record.
That really has to be.
That's nearly unheard of right there. You're talking about one of the greatest defensive players of all time, and Andrew Anderson throwing that weight around, and we'll see if he's able to throw around a little bit later on. Eddie Valentine, a man who was in the main event the last time we were in this building.
And here's the thing. Eddie is an old pro. When I say an old pro, I'm not talking about age. He's wise beyond his years. And now we're seeing him take over.
And it looked like Brett Matthews was looking to put an end to Meto's streak, but the Bulgarian Punisher right now seizing the moment with that double arm trap overhead belly-to-belly suplex, just like his trainer Gangrel.
I've never seen anybody do that. Oh, wow. Great power move.
Taking a couple of pages out of the Vampire Warriors playbook right there, but Meto looking as sharp as ever in the ring, and you can really see those improvements that he's made over the last several months.
And we've talked about this before. Look at how he's advanced in a year. People that come to this school have a step on anybody in the country.
Meto, a fine example of exactly what you can get training under the Vampire Warrior Gangrel and the great staff here at Coastal Championship Wrestling. But Brett Matthews with the powerbomb looks to stack him up. And Meto trying to shift his weight right here. Look at the raw power of the Canadian superstar here, Brett Matthews. As Meto in a precarious position, Kevin, we don't normally see Meto in the high-risk territory. And Meto trying to create some sort of space. And now Meto once again in rarefied air, but in position. picks up the win, continues to remain undefeated, Kevin, as we're heading into the new year. Still yet to have taste defeat, still yet to have his shoulders pinned down, and now on a collision course here with Alex Chamberlain for that Southeastern Championship down in Hialeah.
I have to have my money on Alex Chamberlain. The guy has shown everybody here in CCW why he's the champion. And this young man, the Bulgarian champion, is going to have a difficult time. The hardest match he's ever had. That's why I got to go with Alex. He's the champion to become the champion.
Unquestionably, the toughest test of Meto's career. We shall see how that unfolds coming up on January 7th. But coming up next, Kevin, is the debut of Kristan here in CCW.
I'm looking forward to that.
Get yourself a t-shirt, they look really great. Moving right along, ladies and gentlemen, your next contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring first, from Scott Island, weighing tonight 190 pounds. He is the first of his name. He is
So Kristan making his Coastal Championship Wrestling debut, and from what I understand, Kevin, he is the fastest student to debut in an actual match here in CCW.
This just goes to show you how good the school is. A young man to rise that quick.
Wait a second. He's coming out here with a coastie. Of course, the CCW Awards this past Tuesday right here in the CCW Arena. Kristan didn't win anything.
Nothing I know of, and I was there. This is very interesting.
Very interesting to see what goes on here. Did he go to the store and buy it?
It sure looks that way.
I would love to see the name engraved on that plaque. But nonetheless, Kristan, who has had everything in his life handed to him, apparently including this coastie.
Well, he thinks he deserves it, obviously, but you deserve it by winning in the ring, not by just picking up a trophy.
Certainly a bit of an interesting character, and I'm very curious to see what happens when the bell rings, and that's somewhat of an advantage for him, that complete unknown.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Christon, the first of my name, the shoe of the Gulf, the Atlantic, and the Straits, the warden of the coast, and the Lord of Lost Territory. That includes you. Now, this last week, excuse me, I'm caught. This past week, CCW held their annual award ceremony. Now, this award is for Rookie of the Year. But I can't lie for the children. I just can't do it. That's how you lie. This award, it isn't mine. It's still Garcia's. But he doesn't deserve this award. I do. Garcia. It's for all of you. I want you to watch. And his opponents, being accompanied to the ring by Valentine, from West Palm Beach, Florida, weighing tonight within 82 pounds, the CCW Rookie of the Year, Garcia!
each and every time we see Joe Garcia in better and better shape, really refining his game. And now, out for a measure of revenge here. We thought this was essentially the debut of Kristan against Joe Garcia, looking to pick up a win before the end of the year. But now there's a little bit at stake here.
There's more than a little bit at stake. It's bragging rights, right?
So we're off and running here, second bout of the evening. We still have 3 championships to be decided tonight. Stat card here tonight in Pompano. As Kristan, who, again, we don't know a whole lot about him here, Kevin. This is a man we've seen him in practice here at CCW. We've seen him training, but overall, from bell to bell, really no tape, no way to really understand what's to come.
Well, he's stepped in line with Joe. Joe is in, like you pointed out earlier, Joe is in unbelievable shape, and he wants, oh, nice move.
Nice counter right there by Joe Garcia as he's looking for a bit of a crossface here. But Joe Garcia, you go back several months, Kevin, winning that Escape the Kumite Battle Royal right here inside the CCW arena, really giving him a lot of confidence that he's rode that wave the last 4 months.
Yes, and here's the thing that impresses me about Joe. Joe takes a guy down, keeps him on the mat, but he's also a high flyer. He's got the best of both worlds going for him.
As Joe Garcia continues to attempt to add dimensions to his game, and you talked about some of his high-flying ability, he can really add some new dimensions as we're talking about. Here's a good combination, too. But Eddie Valentine really is going to be able to teach him some power and his ability to kind of show him some holds and different techniques inside that ring that some of which partially extinct.
I agree with you 1,000%. Here's the thing. When you have Eddie out there in your corner, he's going to be able to direct you to get out of holds, to put holds on.
And Joe Garcia, you can really see the intensity picking up in young Qrow. More than we're used to seeing. You have to believe that's all based around that Rookie of the Year trophy. Tries another pinning combination, but Kristan's able to hang on. And Kristan, only having been competing for a couple of minutes here, certainly does not necessarily look like this is his first matchup.
It certainly doesn't. Again, I know I've said this before. Coming out of Gangrel School, it gives everybody a heads up. Then you accomplish in 6 months what it takes most people 4 years out of the CCW school. And the great Rick Gangrel helping you.
And as both of these stars looking to really break out, no pun intended here at Breakout 19, Naughty or Nice, looking to possibly put themselves in championship contention as we move to a new year, maybe that Southeastern title. And speaking of that Southeastern title, who answered tonight's Chamberlain challenge here at Naughty or Nice?
I'm really looking forward to that because, like I said, I can't give Alex...
Kristan going for the pin.
I can't give Alex any more kudos than saying he reminds me of the great, late Johnny Valentine.
And that's certainly championship worthy in its own right. And he was originally scheduled to take on Gio Steez, but Steez suffering injury over the last couple of weeks, bruised ribs from what I understand. He's going to take the rest of the year off. So Chamberlain with a wide open opponent tonight. And Joe Garcia trying to utilize that quickness. And he's going to... Oh! As he goes right there for another pinning combination and came within a hair's breadth of the victory. And you can see Eddie Valentine very much approving of this offensive combination being pieced together by Joe. Oh! And Garcia might have risked it all right there, Kevin. And Kristan was looking for an opening. Side Russian leg sweep by Joe Garcia, too. Unable to hook the leg, and Kristan kicks out. As Joe Garcia looking for more and more confidence. And he's not going to gain it necessarily there. Slips on the rope, and it looks like Joe Garcia puts himself in a compromising position.
He drove his head into the mat. These high-risk moves, if you don't hit them, put yourself in a bad position.
And that's the exact type of strategy Eddie Valentine might look to implement for Joe Garcia to avoid in the future. But he's going to go right back to the well one more time. Joe Garcia nearly flies. There's a cover for Kristan, and he steals it. Kristan just stole the win.
Wow.
none too pleased with the outcome.
I gotta ask you a question. When he went for that high-risk move and drove his head into the mat, I don't like to criticize anybody, but I don't think I would have tried another high-risk move after almost knocking myself out.
And that's one of those situations, are you calling it risky or are you calling it stupid? Because Joe Garcia, not necessarily having his thoughts collected, goes to the top. Kristan picks up the pieces, finds an opening right there, and the young man from Star Island gets his first ever win.
And let's not take anything away from him. He was smart enough to roll in and get the pin.
Here in the CCW Arena for Cruiserweight 2. Every single match will be contested inside a steel cage. And tickets will be on sale tonight. Your next contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the first from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Weighing in at 198 pounds, the equalizer, Elliot Qrow!
And we want to talk about improvements. We want to talk about moving up the charts. Here is your 2022 most improved here in Coastal Championship Wrestling, Elliot Qrow, who has really made a serious statement with his attitude change over the last several months, which we first saw right here in this building a couple of months ago.
This is the perfect place for people to come to see rising stars. This kid didn't get that trophy for not working hard. He's a hard worker, and I have to tell you this, I'm not even
Elliot Qrow, we've seen him in tag team action with Gio Stees, but over the last several weeks, he's really looked to break out on his own. We saw him go one-on-one with Venetia's down in Miami at Miami Brewing Company several weeks ago, and he really held his own with the Brazilian Destroyer.
He really did, which surprised me.
From Southern Jersey, weighing in at 206 pounds, the one and only Jackal!
As I might need a hearing aid after that reaction, as the roof ready to come off of the CCW Arena. He's not the franchise, but he is arguably the most popular man in all of CCW. Jackal Stevens, the former two-time Southeastern champion, makes his way out here to a rousing ovation. And Kevin, you want to talk about a workhorse. You want to talk about a real stud within Coastal Championship Wrestling. Look no further than Jackal Stevens.
Former from the Battle Road in Hialeah. He showed me something. He had smart, stayed in the corner. He waited for the corner to go down. From the last, get eliminated.
And we talked about Elliot Qrow maybe looking to take an advantage. No better way than to capitalize. Jumping Jackal Stevens before the bell even sounds. As referee Andy Seeley trying to get Elliot Qrow back in the ring. But Qrow really looking to find an opening right here. He wants to put his name on the map in CCW.
Oh, he just did.
And I think Jackal wants to play naughty or nice here with Elliot Qrow. As Andy Seeley trying to restore a semblance of order right now. This match is not even officially begun. And Qrow, Kevin Sullivan, we have never seen this type of aggression from Elliot Qrow, and it's starting to pay off in spades.
Maybe getting that trophy with a fire under him.
As Jackal Stevens inside the ring, Andy Seeley officially gets this match started, but once again, Elliot Qrow already on the advantage. As Qrow, we talked about him in tag team competition and recently in singles competition. You have to imagine whether it's Chris Farrow in that Cruiserweight Championship or Alex Chamberlain in that Southeastern title, he certainly will be gunning for singles gold as we head to the new year.
You're absolutely right, and I've never seen him get lit up like this before. The Jackal is I spoke too soon.
And right now, as Jackal Stevens puts himself right back in the driver's seat, Jackal has really suffered some adversity in recent months. He was on the precipice of a casket match with former tag team partner and friend Agony. Unfortunately, unfortunately suffered a concussion, was put out of action for quite some time. Looked like he was maybe trending towards the tag team championships, had to miss matches, right within a hair's breadth of winning that last territory battle royal just a few weeks ago. And Jackal Stevens here, as you can really see that aggression starting to come out, as Jackal desperately wants to get right back in position here in CCW.
Jackal has a great recuperating powers, and he's very smart in the ring. Not a lot of wasted motion.
Might be looking for that Olympic slam. Well scouted there by Elliot Qrow. As Qrow and Stevens continue to jockey for position here, Jackal trying to end things early. And Qrow uses the momentum to send Stevens all the way to the floor.
He did a great move there. Took it from a defensive to an offensive position.
As Jackal back and forth here with Elliot Qrow on the outside. And these two, no personal issues here, essentially just a match on the card, but it looks like a rivalry beginning to brew here in CCW.
And it also is the pride of CCW. They're fighting for pride. No title, just pride.
It is indeed the last territory, the place to be here throughout the state of Florida, of course up into the Nashville area. As Elliot Qrow, speaking to him earlier tonight, Kevin, he said he wanted to really make 2023 his year, and with 2 matches left this year, he wants to start hitting the ground running.
I think you're absolutely right, and he's doing a marvelous job. I would put my money on the Jackal, but he's held his own, and he's giving the Jackal all he can stand right now.
And we know Jackal Stevens certainly has had his hands full with the Golden Chileans, Alan S2S Martinez, and of course the CCW Heavyweight Champion Ariel Levy. Tomorrow in Port St. Lucie, it will be 6-man tag team action as Vinicius returns to PSL. And Qrow, once again, finds himself on the receiving end of a pinfall. And Jackal unable to get the victory right there, but Qrow, again, not backing down, and Kevin Sullivan standing right up to one of the top stars in CCW.
That's what I love about CCW, the competition. It's like the NFL says, on any given Sunday, on any night CCW comes, there's an upset. We just saw one.
Indeed we did, as Kristan won his first ever bout here, upending Joe Garcia, who in himself is the upset kid. As Elliot Qrow here right out in front of us. And Elliot Qrow, once again, trying to find his way here.
I gotta give Elliot Qrow a lot of confidence here. He has been taking a lot of defensive and turning it into an offense.
Excellent counter wrestling here by Elliot Qrow. And Qrow once again goes right back on the attack here with this Fujiwara armbar, exploiting that AC joint, the rotator cuff of Jackal Stevens.
That's what I love about CCW, the wrestling, the high flyers. You got a little bit of everything here.
We're certainly going to see the power on display later on. We talked about Andrew Anderson and Eddie Valentine, but of course the ladies in the house, Tinaily and Nicolth Lucero, back in the CCW arena.
I'm glad to see that, and I know the fans are.
Indeed, Nicole, of course, long-time Gangrel's Wrestling Asylum Women's Champion, took some time off during the COVID-19 pandemic to nurse some injuries amongst some other things in her personal life, but now she's officially back, and she's ready to go right after Marina Tucker in that women's title. And Qrow really slowing down the pace right here.
But what I like is he's staying on the arm. He's working on the arm. He's making him a one-arm wrestler right now. And I got to give him all the credit in the world. He's got a great game plan going in.
And despite any attitude adjustment in recent months of Elliot Qrow, it is really difficult to not give him his flowers inside that ring. This is a young man that has looked like a completely different wrestler since we first saw him. As Jackal, certainly not somebody you want to see flip the script there, almost not Jackal, but Jekyll and Hyde here. As former 1/3 of American Horror Story, innovative offense right now, starting to get the ball rolling. It's Jackal Stevens, as this crowd's starting to come alive.
The only thing I see there, Jackal should have grabbed the leg and leaned a little bit more body weight on his chest.
And that very well could be the difference between 2.5 and 3. As Jackal Stevens right now looking to end it all once again. And for the second time in his bout, Elliot Qrow sees the Olympic slam coming. And now Stevens trying to find himself in the same place he was when he won championship gold. And Jackal, perfectly executed. 2, 3.
Like I said the last time we went to Britain, he probably grabbed the leg and put the body weight.
Excellent win there for Jackal Stevens as he gets right back on track as we head towards tomorrow evening 6-man tag up in Port St. Lucie, Florida for Breaking Chains. Jackal Stevens once again, Kevin, not able to get by agony, not able to win the last territory battle royal. Well, 2023 finally in the year, Jackal Stevens reaches the top of the mountain in CCW.
And the fans love him. The fans absolutely love him.
So 3 matches in the books. Coming up next, folks, our first of 3 championships to be decided. It is Alex Chamberlain and the Chamberlain Challenge as the Southeastern title is on the line.
CCW, but if you need your fix before 2023, you should have checked out CCW Live Wrestling every Tuesday night. A brand new episode will be uploaded to YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Chamberlain Challenge.
Rolls on here inside the CCW arena as once again our first championship bout of the night is set to come down, and it will be the Chamberlain Challenge. As ever since returning to CCW as a singles competitor for the first time in nearly a decade, earlier in 2022, Alex Chamberlain has made serious statements and has now put himself in position as the #2 champion in the entire company. He, of course, won that Southeastern title from Jackal Stevens this summer with an assist from Agony. That was back in August in Hialeah. Many men have answered the Chamberlain Challenge, but none have been successful. But we shall see if anything is different here tonight. Anytime today, Chamberlain.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome, because now the real champion that you're walking team is before you in all his glory. Taking in Alex Chamberlain, your SEC champion. Every week I prove it, every week I talk, and every
doesn't matter who it is, because whoever's standing against me, they go down the same as any other would. I made an open challenge because I hope that in my heart of hearts there's a real person that can give me what I'm looking for. A real fight. None of you, all of them, look at you. It's sad because there hasn't been one competitor who was good. And unfortunately, maybe here in CCW, maybe that man does not exist. But here we are, and what I get paid to do, to be a champion of masses, to be your representation of what a real professional wrestler is supposed to be. So here, I leave it up to the people in the back who is willing to go toe-to-toe with the best. Challenge.
Well, finally, we're going to see who's going to answer the Chamberlain challenge. I think you cooked a full meal there, Kevin. The Nerdzilla back in the house tonight.
One of the things that I admire about Alex Chamberlain is his presence. Coming to the ring, standing there, he has a certain presence that most people don't have.
That's one thing you cannot take away from the Southeastern champion. That presence, as you mentioned, Kevin. He looks like a champion there. He looks like a star. Passes the proverbial airport test when you look at Alex Chamberlain. But K.A. Slash, you'll find him in the comic book store. You might find him in a library. But one thing you don't want to do is get under his skin, because this Nerdzilla can certainly get the job done inside the ring.
This should be a big test for him tonight against Alex.
He has attempted to answer a Chamberlain challenge in the past down in Homestead at Miami Brewing Company for Saturday Night Slam. But this is a bit of a different environment here in the CCW Arena, second to last event of the year. Senior official Bruce Owens in the house. The stakes raised a little bit here tonight. And Chamberlain looking as cerebral as ever. And K.A. Slash, certainly a little bit more of a serious demeanor on his face as well.
Again, about Alex's presence. Look at him, no quick movement. He's putting it on that he is the man.
And Kevin, if you're in a position of K.A. Slash here, answering this challenge, essentially nothing to lose, what's your strategy going against a champion like him?
If I was him, I would just go as hard and as quick as I can, because Alex is a machine. He can last 60 minutes, and he'll make you suffer the longer it goes.
And again, with Alex Chamberlain having a lot of success, not just here in CCW, not just throughout the state of Florida or even the United States, he's competed internationally in China. He's really been all over the world. One of the unsung talents that we have here in Southeastern Championship Wrestling, rather than the Southeast here in Coastal Championship Wrestling. But right now, Chamberlain looking to teach this young kid a lesson.
I agree with you. 100%. Is as good as it gets anywhere. He could main event in Madison Square Garden.
And one thing you have to ask yourself, Kevin, what's left for Alex Chamberlain? Obviously, he still can win the CCW Heavyweight Championship, currently held by a friend of his in Ariel Levy. But how much left is there to accomplish for Chamberlain, and how much does that drive him?
I think it's his pride. It's all about pride with Alex. He's been to the mountaintop, and I would bet that he'll get back there. Nice move.
Showing off a bit of an amateur background right there. Almost a bit of a judo throw as Chamberlain looks to control K.A. Slash right here. But Chamberlain, of course, a big man of his own right. A lot of power, a lot of strength. But K.A. Slash, not a small man to pick up and put down.
No, he's not. And he's got that going from his size. Now he just needs to...
And you see Chamberlain imposing his will right there. But that won't be enough. But K.A. Slash, a competitor once we get past that 5-minute mark, once we get towards that 10-minute mark, he's in uncharted waters. And Kevin, when you're in that type of environment, what's going through your head?
Slash has got a problem here. Oh, good. You just took it away from me. I said he had a problem. He has to get going. You can't let Alex take the pace.
And Slash showing off a bit of power in his own right. And I do believe K.A. Slash's power and strength very well could even things up a little bit against Chamberlain.
It looks like that already, though. Vader call.
I don't believe that Alex Chamberlain saw this coming. I guess it's K.A. Slash time.
I think you're right. This would be a huge... Wow.
Connects with that front slam, Kevin. This could do it, but a new champion.
Wow. Right
on the cusp right there. Bruce Owens' hand was coming down for a third time, and Chamberlain, out of desperation, slipped that shoulder up. Slash now. There's the K.A. Splash.
I'm going to say this. He wasted too much time ballyhooing to the crowd. You don't give Alex a minute.
Oh! And Chamberlain with that vicious lariat. I believe K.A. Slash got knocked into 2023.
Maybe 2024.
Chamberlain saw an opening, exploited it, one lariat later, and he's still the Southeastern champ.
Here's the thing. You know from your mistakes. And I think Slash, when he gets back to the dressing room, will look about the times he was valuing the crowd, and he won't make that mistake again.
Throughout the next several weeks as we head through the holiday season, you have to imagine K.A. Slash will watch this match back several times and study that film and figure out what he needs to do the next time he's in that ring. Because this was the second time that he succumbed to the Chamberlain challenge. Will the third time be the charm if K.A. Slash can step back in there with Alex Chamberlain?
I wouldn't bet against it.
So our first title match of the night is in the books, but Kevin, sit back, fasten your seatbelt, hold on tight. The Cruiserweight title on the line coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, is this the last weekend of 2022? We're live action with CCW. Don't forget, tomorrow night in Port St. Lucie, we will be breaking chains. Who's up for some more championship action here tonight? The following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the CCW Cruiserweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger. Representing the gifted from Tampa, Florida, weighing tonight at 165 pounds, he is the Puff Daddy of Pro Wrestling, Wheezy T.
Wheezy T making his debut here for CCW, representing the gifted out of the Tampa area. And I believe Wheezy T has trained under the likes of Jay Lethal, Connor, who of course we've seen from the Ascension. He has some strong training under his belt, but he's going to be in there with the two-time Cruiserweight champion, charismatic Chris Farrow. It looks like Wheezy T might have hurt himself before the match even began.
Introducing the champion from Pompano Beach, Florida, weighing in at 175 pounds, he is the first ever two-time CCW Cruiserweight champion and your reigning defending Cruiserweight champion, Mr. 954, Chris Farrow.
The hometown boy original Cruiserweight champion, and now has the 4th championship reign, as he won that triple threat with Alan S2S Martinez and Jay Vidal a few months back. About 6 weeks ago, as a matter of fact. Down in Hialeah, and Kevin, that was one of the best triple threats we've seen in quite some time.
This kid is a good
So this one should be an interesting mix of styles, both cruiserweight, high-flying like competitors. Wheezy T, of course, in his debut, but again, if he suffered a match pre-injury, that's going to throw his entire game plan off.
He still hasn't shaken it off, so let's see what happens during the match.
A pre-match injury, certainly not what Wheezy T had on his bingo card tonight. The Puff Daddy of professional wrestling taking on Mr. 954, charismatic Chris Farrow. Our second of 3 championship belts to be decided. We still have a whole lot left to come, Kevin. Tinaily, Nicolth Lucero, Andrew Anderson, Eddie Valentine, and of course JAI, Jay Vidal and Ariel Levy for the CCW Heavyweight Title, as Jay Vidal, the 3rd ever Cruiserweight champion, gets the opportunity to move up a couple of pegs and have an opportunity at Ariel Levy.
What a card. What a card. Right at the home of CCW.
As this crowd continues to fill in here, just about at standing room only now, for Naughty or Nice, our final event of the year here in the CCW Arena, and we close things out for the year tomorrow. Breaking chains up in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Andrew Anderson, Ozzy Kilmeister one-on-one. That's a match that I've been circling for a long time, and Andrew better not overlook Eddie Valentine tonight, because he does not want to go into Port St. Lucie with a loss.
I agree with you 100%, and Ozzy is a great opponent for Andrew, opposite to Andrew's spectrum of power, strength, and conditioning.
As Chris Farrow, your reigning defending Cruiserweight champion here, we talked about back in the spring of 2021, winning the first ever CCW Cruiserweight Championship, held that title for quite some time. Once he lost to Alan S2S Martinez, Chris Farrow went through a bit of diversity, had some tough times, but now right back at the top of the mountain, and Chris Farrow as charismatic and as confident as ever. Wheezy T tries a pinning combination here. Andy Seeley out of position, and that might have just cost Wheezy T the championship. As these two continue to jockey for position, Wheezy T tries to snap off a Hurricane Rana, but Chris Farrow right on his feet. As Wheezy T and Farrow once again trying to gain an advantage here. As Farrow has longed to be the dominant man here in the Cruiserweight division. Once again, another pinning combination, Mahi Straw Credo variation. Farrow reverses the shoulders. And it anticipates Wheezy T coming in, and you can really see that confidence growing and showing right here in front of us.
This is one of those matches that it could go quickly, because these two are great athletes.
When you're competing at this fast of speed, Kevin, one thing thrown off can really change the entire matchup.
Absolutely, and that's why these guys are the creme de creme of the Cruiserweight division.
It's the 813 versus the 954 right here. And Wheezy T, it looks like he needs a puff. He can't breathe, Kevin. That's doctor prescribed. Oh! Farrow wants a hit, but I don't think that was prescribed for him. And Wheezy T, Ushi-Garoshi, that might do it. We got a new Cruiserweight champion. And 2 3/4, and look at Wheezy T's face. He thought that was it, Kevin. He was right on the cusp.
To tell you the truth, I did too.
This might be giving you flashbacks to the early Monday Nitro days, Kevin.
Oh, these guys are incredible. This is what Cruiserweights are supposed to be.
Taking pages right out of the Rey Mysterio and Juventud Guerrero playbook right here. Wheezy T and Chris Farrow looking to put on a showcase here tonight in Pompano Beach. Farrow once again looking to control Wheezy T right here, and T tries another pinfall, 2, and Farrow able to hang on. Oh, and Wheezy T collapses right there, and Kevin, that could go right back to that pre-match injury where it appeared as if Wheezy T tweaked his knee.
He has, it looks like.
And it capitalizes T, only gets 2. But we talked about JAI, Vidal competing against Ariel Levy for the CCW Heavyweight Championship, moving up from the Cruiserweight division. Chris Farrow is someone who's very comfortable in the Cruiserweight division and would rather dominate right here in the 205 and under division than worry about moving up, as he wants to be here for a long time.
I agree with you 100%, and I think he will be here if he can get by this match.
As T trying to find some sort of strategy to take advantage here of Chris Farrow. And what better way to make your CCW debut if you're Wheezy T than to come down to the home of CCW, the home of Chris Farrow, inside the CCW arena, and take his championship.
And he's doing a great job of pushing him to the limit.
As T trying to prove his worth here tonight, not just to the fans, but the CCW management. This is not the first time and not the last time he wants to be here.
And the showing that he's giving tonight won't be.
Oh, look at this interesting pinning combination. This Farrow comes from the apron all the way through the ropes, and T trying to steal it. Now Farrow reverses course in his own right. As this has been back and forth, Kevin, if you're scoring on paper, we're dead even.
Yeah, we sure are.
Farrow, will that be enough? Andy Seeley, nice job to check the shoulders right there. Veteran move by the referee. And Farrow trying to make this one a bit more personal. As Farrow has had championship bouts in the past, he's competed against the heavyweights here at CCW, but would much rather fly through the air. As he nearly flies right on our table, Kevin. That's certainly not the dinner I was looking forward to. And Farrow catches Wheezy T. 2. Oh! And I thought that was going to be enough to double knees off the top.
I agree with you 100%. They're bringing it. They're bringing it. This is what CCW is all about. 100% action and 1,000% enthusiasm.
Very similar to that Meteora by Alan S2S Martinez, the man who defeated Chris Farrow for the Cruiserweight Championship earlier here in 2022. As Wheezy T now looks to slow down the pace a little bit. Not very characteristic for a Cruiserweight matchup.
No, but he's got him locked up in an abdominal stretch. I haven't seen that move in quite a while.
And again, Kevin, perfect positioning, nowhere near the ropes, centered right in the middle of the ring. And Chris Farrow now is going to have to rely on his cardiovascular conditioning and really train his breathing right now to not waste any breaths.
And it looks like he's turning it around. It looks like he's reversing the hole. He has.
Chris Farrow wants that after party tonight here in Pompano. He wants to go down the street to the circus bar and have a little fun here after tonight's event. And he's not doing that empty-handed without the championship. As these two continue to struggle right now to try to gain an advantage here. And once again, pretty much an even keel throughout this bout. And Wheezy T catches Farrow right on the top of the head coming back. And Wheezy T seemingly breathing just fine right here.
It looks like our boy has knocked him out.
It looks like Wheezy T had an early bedtime tonight, as he's laid out right in the center of the ring. And Farrow trying to struggle to his feet. The champion is down and the challenger is down. The Cruiserweight Championship hanging the balance here at Not Air Nice. As Chris Farrow reaching out to the young fans in the front row in full support of the champ. As T, you have to wonder what's left in the playbook of Wheezy T here, essentially throwing everything but the kitchen sink at Chris Farrow.
Smart move by Chris to go to the leg.
And Farrow, from what I understand, has been taking some striking classes, and we saw right there an attempt by Farrow to lay out Wheezy T with a series of kicks. But now the challenger, he might have found an opening here, Kevin. Goes for the tornado bulldog. He's going to get the DDT. That tornado DDT runs right up the ropes. And that forearm might have knocked Farrow out. We got a new champion. 3, no. As Andy Seeley says, we were just inches away. Kevin, that's the closest we've come tonight to a new champion. As Wheezy T and Chris Farrow certainly have left it all inside the ring tonight.
It's amazing to me the condition of these two guys are. Amazing.
It truly is a sight to behold. And watching the even keel of both of these competitors now. As Farrow looking for that sliced bread, can't get it to go. As Wheezy T been studying a lot of tape on Farrow in preparation for this matchup. And Farrow pops right back up for the second time, being sharp, connects right in the center of the ring, slice the bread right up, 2 and 3.
That's right, Farrow is the champion. Came in with
He was pushed with his back all the way against the wall, but Farrow found a way to take out Wheezy T and retain his CCW Cruiserweight Championship. Again, to take nothing away from Wheezy T. This young man proved he belongs right at the top of this Cruiserweight division.
I'm going to ask you a question. If he didn't hurt himself getting into the ring, it could have been a whole different story.
There's a couple of times throughout this matchup where it looked like Wheezy T was on the cusp of really putting things in position for the victory. That he gave out, Farrow capitalized, better moved by the champion, and that's exactly why he's still the 2-time CCW Cruiserweight Champion. For the first time tonight, folks, the women are in action. Tinaily making a return to CCW, taking on Nicolth Lucero in the top contenders match from Marina Tucker, and it is coming up next.
CCW fans, remember, we will be back next year at our premier event at Hialeah in the Unbranded Brewing Company, January 7th.
Whoa. What is this all about? That's the South American Alliance's music. It's Ariel, Levy, and Vinicius. Oh no, come on. We saw this at Maverick Town, down in Hialeah, last Saturday afternoon. That is certainly not the Brazilian Destroyer. As you have to wonder, how much more of a mockery can the heavyweight champion make here of his former friend and partner?
So I want to give all of you unbelievable kids. I did a reconciliation with a very unique and special big brother tradition right here. So
This fake Venetius is going to get a nice greeting from Cobra Cabana. So Venetius, who made his triumphant return several months ago down in Hialeah after missing 5 months due to injury at the hands of Ariel Levy. Kevin Sullivan, these two were on a collision course Saturday night, January 7th, down in Hialeah, Bash of the Brew, unrated brewing company, inside a 15-foot high steel cage. It's Levy and Venetius for the heavyweight title. The South American Alliance explodes, and you have to imagine the manager of champions, Bill Alfonso, we front row and center for that one.
And I had to go with him in the cage. He fell on the floor. The Brazilian Giant's going to take it off.
She is a two-time amateur wrestling state champion and the suplex queen, Tinaily.
As Tinaily will make her return to CCW. She's competed against Ruthie J in a couple of recent bouts, but she's a standout amateur wrestler. And don't be fooled by her size, Kevin. She can toss you around like Kurt Angle.
I'm sure. I've heard so much about her amateur background. I'm really looking forward to watching her get in the ring and show us what she's got.
You can call her the mini suplex queen, as Tinaily will tie you up, flip you around, and throw you all around the squared circle here. And I'm very curious to see how she gains some footing here in Coastal Championship Wrestling. Unfortunately, on the losing end of the stick against Ruthie J. But an excellent opportunity here against Nicolth Lucero. Two women both looking to move right up the ladder towards Marina Tucker.
Well, having an amateur background like she does is a big step in becoming a very good professional wrestler.
As we talked about, Nicolth Lucero making her triumphant return a couple of months back and now looking to pick up the momentum right where she left off back in 2019, right before the COVID-19 pandemic. But Nicolth is officially back here. And you have to wonder, Kevin, she has a match tomorrow for the CCW Women's Championship as Marina Tucker will defend against Rocky Radley. But do you believe the 3-time Women's Champion is watching this match knowing that she very well could have her next challenger emerging from this bout?
You're absolutely right. This should be a test for both of them. One of them is coming off a layoff, the other one's coming off a loss. This is going to be an exciting match.
As referee Noah Cinto assigned to this contest. The young Noah, another product here of the CCW Training Facility.
Are you ready? Ring that bell!
As Nicolth Lucero, Tinaily, top contenders match for Marina Tucker and the CCW Women's Championship. We talked about Tinaily's amateur background. Nicolth Lucero, very well versed in CrossFit, so a little bit of power versus the amateur ability here. Both very well known for picking their opponents up and putting them right over their head. As you see Nicolth here, trying to find her footing in Tinaily. And Kevin, when you take that long of a time off in the ring, how does that really affect your ring conditioning and overall skill set?
It really affects you. I don't care how much training you do. Until you get in there, you don't know what your conditioning, physical conditioning is.
You hear a lot of stars, a lot of veterans say, I'd rather wrestle each and every night of the week than once a month or once a week because your body's kind of conditioned to being inside that ring.
Absolutely. Your body becomes like a callus. Good sportsmanship there.
As Tinaily certainly used to her sportsmanship from her amateur days, but we'll see if Nicolth Lucero is able to get under her skin at all right here. But both of these women tend to follow the rules, but you never know what could happen in a high-stakes event.
Whoa. Great arm drags.
As Nicolth Lucero, of course, under the tutelage of the Vampire Warrior Qrow, taking a page out of his playbook. I thought right there was going for that signature corkscrew elbow, but instead puts herself in pinning position. And Tinailly's able to hang on, but Nicole now, you see her starting to gain her sea legs under her, getting that confidence as this match wears on.
I see what you're talking about, and it looks like that she understands what she has to do to succeed.
And look at the power of Tinaily right there. Nicolth Lucero, a good 6 inches taller. And Tinaily now dumps Lucero overhead, holds the bridge of the Northern Light suplex. And Tiny Tinaily showing off that power and skill right in front of us.
And what I really liked was she got up on her toes on that suplex.
And Tinaily here, again now going for a submission, really showing her ability. Many different styles as Tiny Tinaily.
Tiny's going to do nothing but get better.
Still only a couple of years in the professional wrestling business, and no better way to continue to improve than to be in there with the likes of a Nicolth Lucero. And once again, if you go back to 2018, 2019, along with Anna Diaz, dominating the women's division down here in South Florida. As Tinaily and Lucero both get taken down, both competitors essentially in an even keel here. A lot at stake here as they're both looking to put themselves in a championship position. As referee Noah Cinto's about halfway home. Kevin, if he gets a 10, there will be no winner.
And I think they're both getting to learn each other right now. Great.
And when you're talking about two younger competitors, what's that feeling out process like? It probably takes a little bit longer.
Yes, it does. But again, these beautiful moves.
Nice combination here by Nicolth Lucero, stringing together a series of moves. And that's a near fall for Nicolth Lucero. Tinaily says, give me the arm and I'll throw you right around.
It looks like Tiny has some judo background too.
Certainly looks like she's done a little bit of training. And another variation of the suplex straight, that pump handle overhead. As Nicolth Lucero's ribs certainly not feeling too good right now. As Tinaily, and you can really see the aggression starting to pick up from Tinaily. Signature sliding German suplex.
I've never seen that. In all my days, I've never seen that.
That's a signature move for Tiny Tinaily. She likes to break that out in each and every match. And has won her matches before. And you have to imagine, Kevin, if she was able to get back in the ring a little bit quicker, that's probably the difference between 2 and 3.
I think you're right. That's just a rookie mistake. She's going to grow whether she wins, loses, or draw in this match.
A lot of opportunity for growth on tonight's card from top to bottom, whether it's Brett Matthews and Meto or all the way to Jay Vidal and Ariel Levy. Always room to improve here with this stacked of a roster. As Nicolth Lucero, there it goes! That Tiger Bomb, 2, 3, and Nicolth Lucero wins it.
Nicole might have won, but I think Tiny won a lot.
So Nicole officially back in CCW, and she has yet to have her shoulders pinned down since her return. But you mentioned it, Kevin. Tiny Tinaily, an incredible effort tonight. It's only a matter of time before she picks up a signature win and goes to a championship wrestling.
Absolutely. When she breaks through, she's going to really break through.
As Nicolth Lucero celebrating this victory, you have to wonder what's next for her here in CCW. Well, what's next for us, Kevin? Andrew Anderson, Eddie Valentine, 2 veterans set to collide. It's going to be a classic here in Pompano.
I broke my fucking foot, and they shot me up with some fucking Lasix.
Contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from New York City, weighing tonight at 284 pounds. He is the reinforcer, Andrew Anderson.
He is an Anderson, but he's the reinforcer. been signed on the dotted line to take on Ozzy Kilmeister tomorrow night in Ozzy's backyard in Port St. Lucie at Breaking Chains at the Mid-Florida Event Center. But he was chomping at the bit, said, CCW, I'm already going to be in Florida that weekend. Let me get not one, but let me get 2 cracks at it, as he will have the veteran Eddie Valentine here this week.
And his opponents from Reading, Pennsylvania, at 245 pounds, the Golden Vision, Eddie Valentine.
Cracked the bone on my foot. I've been looking for a week. I dropped a 45-pound plate on it, and they shot me up with some latex.
That's painful. That's painful. I've done my finger before, hasn't it? So here we go. Andrew Anderson against Eddie Valentine, 2 veterans. Kevin, you're the only person in this building that can even hold a candle to the type of experience that these two bring to the table.
This should be a barn burner. Don't expect a great technical match, but if you're going to want to see some hard hitting, this is the match to watch.
Nearly 50 years of experience in that ring, and you hit it right on the head, Kevin. I expect a dogfight here in Pompano.
Andrew's probably in the best shape of his life.
I see abs popping.
And Eddie has been a constant winner here at CCW. This is a toss-up, I say.
And certainly if you're Eddie Valentine, you saw your protege Joe Garcia lose earlier tonight, and you want to make a statement. You want to set a good example for young Joe. And what better way to do it than beat a veteran like Andrew Anderson here tonight? You see a sign of mutual respect right there. Oh, and Andrew Anderson reinforcing the fact that you can't trust him.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And choking out Eddie Valentine with that prized Ribera jacket. I was speaking with Andrew earlier, he was mentioning his All Japan days and a lot of success he had there in tag team competition. And Eddie Valentine, another man who's been to Japan, but here we are in Pompano Beach, Florida. Nearly 3 decades into both of these men's careers. And Andrew Anderson exploiting that opening right off the bell. And again, it's pretty interesting, Kevin. Andrew Anderson, been in the business, been competing in professional wrestling for nearly 3 decades, but not a lot of tape on him here in South Florida.
Not a lot of tape on him, and it's been a while since he's been to Florida. So I don't think Eddie has had a chance. Great block by Eddie.
And Eddie Valentine, once again, certainly a lot to prove tonight. You go back to the last time that we had a big breakout main event right here. Eddie Valentine on the cusp of winning the CCW Heavyweight Championship, push Ariel Levy to the limit and try to gain a newfound confidence. As down goes Andrew Anderson.
Just knocked down a tree.
Wait a minute, it's coming over here. Oh!
What are we doing?
Oh, Anderson and Valentine.
Bring it inside. 2
And not even just nearly 50 years of experience, Kevin, but nearly 500 pounds of force.
I think you're being kind. I say it's over 500.
He's doing a nice guesstimation during the holiday season.
Yeah, I don't think these guys take slim fat.
Certainly that carb-heavy-like diet for Andrew Anderson and Eddie Valentine. You can really feel the force and blunt trauma behind each and every one of those blows. As referee Andy Seeley here trying to maintain a semblance of order.
How do you keep order with 2 big guys like this?
It's certainly going to be a very difficult task. And Anderson there certainly has the brain, certainly has the smarts, a lot of which you've taught him, Kevin.
Well, I might have taught him the wrong thing.
There's a cover.
I didn't teach him how to put 2 hands on that to cover a veteran like Eddie. Eddie's as strong as a bull.
Certainly a prime situation where you'd want to hook the leg, but nonetheless, Andrew Anderson possibly toying right now with the veteran Eddie Valentine.
If Andrew's toying, it's a big mistake.
Look at that power. Nearly 300 pounds up and over. Anderson, who has controlled the pace for the last several minutes here, once again has Ozzy Kilmeister tomorrow. Kevin, you've seen Ozzy Kilmeister over the last several months compete here in CCW. I don't know who on this roster has a bigger heart than Ozzy Kilmeister.
I am so impressed with Ozzy. That headbutt is a dangerous weapon, and Andrew hasn't seen anybody like Ozzy. So I'm going to say that match is a toss-up tomorrow night.
And back on September 30th, when we were last in Port St. Lucie, Ozzy Kilmeister came very, very close to knocking off Ariel Levy and winning that CCW Heavyweight Championship. Andrew Anderson here, another cocky cover. Doesn't even get two. But Ozzy Kilmeister pushing Ariel Levy to the limit in his backyard. The biggest match of his career, and looking to parlay that and keep the momentum rolling in PSL as he takes on the Reinforcer.
It's going to be interesting because if Ozzy could get a win over Andrew, it would propel him to the top of the card.
Certainly no better way to close out the year and put yourself in top contention as the new year will begin. He very well could be in line right after that Venetia's Ariel Levy heavyweight title cage match January 7th at Bash of the Brew. Is Ozzy Kilmeister. As Andrew Anderson here really making a statement. Not out here with him tonight, Kevin, but what about Lou Spector? Is Andrew Anderson now a member of the Resident Scumbags? Because from what I understand, Lou Spector looks to be in the corner of Anderson tomorrow night.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, beautiful, beautiful.
Butterfly suplex, 2. Oh! And that looked like it was about to be 3, but Eddie Valentine somehow woke up at just the nick of time.
I'd like to say something. Just then, when Eddie kicked out, he gave Andrew a shot to the face with his elbow. Great move.
Very veteran-like move there by Eddie Valentine. To utilize some offense while on defense.
Absolutely.
And we talked about the headbutt from Ozzy. Maybe that's a little bit of a preview of what he'll feel tomorrow night.
And it just drove Andrew out of the ring.
As Anderson and Valentine here, I don't think these two care about a countout.
These kids are going to chop it.
And it looked like Eddie Valentine was trying to set up Andrew Anderson for a bevy of youngsters in the front row, but Andrew Anderson might have been too intimidating for him.
I think you're absolutely right. They're going to get counted out. I don't think they care that they get counted out. They just want to inflict punishment on each other.
Andy Seeley calls for 10, and that's going to be it, Kevin. You hit it right on the head. That's a countout.
They won't get back in the ring.
So referee Andy Seeley here trying to restore some order. Here comes Joe Garcia. And he's got a steel chair. He came with some company.
He sure did, and Andrew did the best thing he could do, get his butt out of the ring.
And the Reinforcer, who certainly will need to turn his focus down to Ozzy Kilmeister tomorrow night. Oh, and Andy Seeley goes down as the Reinforcer reinforcing his spot here in Coastal Championship Wrestling as Eddie Valentine, his issues with Andrew Anderson very well could be far from over.
I think you're absolutely right. In that match, nobody gave an inch, that's for sure.
So please make sure you guys still look. We still got more action coming your way. And make sure you stop by those merch tables after the show. Get yourself one of those awesome t-shirts.
on the inside.
You know what about a fatal four-way? Anybody could win. Whether you're the least talented or the most talented. It's one mistake with three other guys against you.
Zone CR3, weighing in 172 pounds, Brian Atomic.
As Brian Atomic comes out here with his first official entrance, but this is not his CCW debut. If you go back to Mavericktown last Saturday, he was the warm-up match for Vinicius before Ariel Levy coming up on January 8th. So he technically has competed in a CCW ring before, but this one has a much better chance for him than last Saturday. Atomic, a young competitor, only been around for a year or two.
Introducing the third competitor from Queens, New York, weighing in at 220 pounds, Willie.
Certainly not the man I was wanting to see come out here, as Willie Liv has interrupted me on 2 occasions the last time we were here for our CCW Breakout events, along with Redcon representative Sean Beatty. As we're finally going to see Willie Liv compete inside the ring after being teased for several months.
Looks like he's in fabulous condition.
Certainly has some bulging trapezius muscles. Once again here, Kevin, one fall to a finish, so you very well could not even be factored into the pinfall or submission and lose this matchup.
That's what we were talking about earlier. This is a man from Southeastern, like you can be on your toes and don't trust anybody in this.
Boxing his way to the ring from the pit, weighing in tonight at the number of the beast, Ozzy Kilmeister.
And listen to that ovation as it's time to mosh. As the mosh show band is set to come out. And Elliot Qrow, of course, won your 2022 Most Improved here at CCW. I don't know if anyone was closer to the victory and winning that award than this man right here, Ozzy Kilmeister.
I'm a big Ozzy fan. I'm a big Ozzy fan. This guy got
And along with NVIDIA, it looks like you officially entered the pit here tonight. So Ozzy Kilmeister in the ring all alone, and he has no friends in this matchup. He really has nowhere to go.
the thing that strikes me right off the bat. Everybody bailed when Ozzy came. So to me, we're all intimidated by Ozzy right now.
And NVIDIA not being an official part of this matchup can only help it so much, as right now Xander, Frost, and Willie Liv double teaming Ozzy. And Frost and Willie Liv here forming a bit of a partnership now, and you have to wonder what's their common goal.
It's maybe to wear Ozzy down. Maybe they think he's not.
He very well could be the toughest out in this matchup is Ozzy Kilmeister. He has taken out Frost, he's taken out Liv, and down goes Brian Atomic. That'll clean your colon. As Willie Liv and Xander Frost once again trying to go back to the double teams here. And Kevin, if you take a look at Willie Liv, he has those 4-ounce MMA gloves on. Those very well could be loaded.
And he may have a background that we're not sure about.
And there's the Macho Slam.
This is what we talked about, a four-way.
Our official here is really going to have to corral things. As Atomic, Liv, and Frost starting to come together, Kevin. They're on the same page.
Yeah, let's get rid of the strongest one in the group, and they're doing a very good job right now.
It's simple mathematics here. Get rid of Ozzy Kilmeister, your chances increase by 8%.
Did Steiner teach you that math?
That is some Steiner math. It actually sets up 33 to 30%. So right now, Ozzy Kilmeister, this is certainly not the position he wanted to be in, Kevin. Coming to this match had high hopes, but he might have been overlooking this match with his eyes set on Andrew Anderson tomorrow.
I hate to think that way because I think so much of Ozzy, but I'm going to lean that way that you're absolutely correct.
Ozzy Kilmeister's in a transition phase right now. He's looking to level up and really put himself on another plane. We've seen his issues in recent weeks with the British star Martin Stone up in Kissimmee. Obviously Andrew Anderson tomorrow. Ozzy Kilmeister taking on a higher level caliber opponent than we're used to seeing.
And I think rightfully so. This guy has worked.
He's earned it.
Yes.
As Frost kind of surveying the scene right now, as Kilmeister trying his damnedest to get back into this matchup. And you see the offense right now from Atomic, Frost, and Liv. What's going to happen when someone wants to make a pinfall? Something has to give.
We're going to find out right now.
As Willie Liv tries to steal it, but Xander Frost, as you see Frost and Liv starting to get into an argument now, starting to break down in front of us. Brian Atomic, he wants to pick up the pieces. And now these three men who are all on the same page in the early portion of this matchup starting to break down in front of us now as Willie Liv takes a huge swipe at Brian Atomic. And speaking of as a potential background, Kevin, that was like a knockout blow.
Yes, and the other thing is they're giving Ozzy plenty of time to recover.
And there's that signature headbutt. And Liv showing off some power. And now Xander Frost, this might be all. Let's sit out Uranagi, but Willie Liv rolls away. I think Xander Frost made a huge mistake not trying to go for the cover. And Atomic launching himself at Frost here. Atomic in the ring. And now Ozzy's got him as we're down to two here between Brian Atomic and Ozzy Kilmeister. Remember, one fall to a finish. Ozzy, that ripcord headbutt, that ought to do it. 2 and 3.
Big win for Ozzy.
Here's your winner, Ozzy Kilmeister!
So Kevin, if you look at our previous bout, Andrew Anderson, Eddie Valentine go to a double countout. Ozzy Kilmeister gets by 3 men. I think it's safe to say Ozzy Kilmeister has the inside track heading into tomorrow night's bout PSL.
I hate to bet against Andrew, but I'm going to tonight because he's going in there with a win, like you said, over 3 guys. And Andrew had a very, very difficult match against Mr. Valentine.
And the reinforcer will also have to think about NVIDIA, who will be alongside Ozzy Kilmeister tomorrow night. It's one of our featured bouts on Breaking Chains tomorrow night at the Mid-Florida Event Center, 8 p.m. bell time in Port St. Lucie, Florida, the final event of 2022. It's been a great card thus far, Kevin. 8 matches in the books, 2 titles have been defended, but the one on the marquee still remains.
us from CCW, I wouldn't.
CCW Arena, it is time for the Breakout 1999 main event!
So Kevin, each and every time we're in a CCW event, whether it's match 1, 2, 3, 4, or the main event, regardless of what town, regardless of what venue or what card, every match has a big fight feel. But you can feel the stakes raised in here tonight. It's for the heavyweight title, and Jay Vidal really looking to prove his worth as he's not compartmentalized. He's not just a cruiserweight style wrestler. He can compete with anybody.
Yes, he can. And the other thing is, this Jay Vidal taught by one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, Gangrel. If you want to learn how to wrestle, you come to CCW, and their school here is unbelievable.
And you can see the confidence oozing out of Jay Vidal. One of the prize students of Gangrel over the last several years. We've seen him competing all around the United States, has made some West Coast tours, Midwest tours, really finding a footing in the California, Las Vegas area with PCW Ultralight Champion, a promotion you're very familiar with, Kevin.
Yes, I certainly am. And I am so impressed by Jay. This guy, he's in such unbelievable shape, both cardio and muscular shape. This is going to be tough for Ariel.
It is the best shape of his career, but you can say the same about this man. And ever since back in May, when he turned his back on Venetius, when he stabbed Bill Alfonso in the back, and went out on his own and carved an entirely new path, Ariel Levy has backed up everything that he said inside that ring. And when he defeated Cha-Cha Charlie for the CCW Heavyweight Champion back in July, he started a reign of terror here in CCW.
And that's the other thing. You can't take anything away from Ariel because he has backed up everything he said and more so. He's turned back every challenger that's been thrown at him.
As he certainly has lost many of his diehard supporters ever since that breakout event when the tag team titles finally left their waist back in May of this year. And once again, the final match inside the CCW Arena in 2022.
I'm looking forward to that. In the cage, things may be different for Ariel that night.
As it's the calm before the storm here, let's head back into the ring. Johnny B. Good set the table for the CCW Heavyweight Championship Breakout 19 Naughty or Nice main event.
This contest will be scheduled for one fall, and it is for a CCW Heavyweight Championship! Introducing first to my left, the challenger from Miami, Florida, weighing in at 175 pounds, newly signed Impact Superstar,
He hasn't won the title quite yet.
He's got confidence, that's for sure.
And to my right, the champion from Santiago, Chile, weighing in tonight at 190 pounds, he is the reigning, defending CCW Heavyweight Champion and the one and only South American Superstar,
The table is officially set for the CCW Heavyweight Championship match. Referee Noah Cinto assigned to this contest. And it's very tough to argue here, Kevin. Both men in the top shapes of their career.
I agree with you 1,000%. This should be very entertaining.
Gentlemen, are you ready? You're going to turn me straight.
Is that possible?
I don't think so.
Are you ready? Ring that bell!
So we're off and running here. Main event, naughty or nice, JAI, Jay Vidal and Ariel Levy. Very interesting path in JAI Vidal in his career here, Kevin. He started off in CCW. He went to go train with Qrow, and then when Qrow came back aboard with Coastal Championship Wrestling, Jay Vidal moved all the way from the west coast of the United States back here to South Florida just so he can train once again under the Vampire Warrior, and you can really see where it's taken.
That's what goes to show you that guys who cross country to train with Qrow.
As you have to imagine the Vampire Warrior here on the road traveling. Can't wait to get a report of all of the action here tonight. And of course tomorrow night as well, up at Port St. Lucie, our final event of the year. The heavyweight title not scheduled to be on the line tomorrow night. Ariel Levy, a part of a six-man tag team bout, but Jay Vidal very well could start the year not just newly signed to Impact Wrestling, but as the CCW Heavyweight Champ.
And that would be a real feather in this young boy's cap.
So if you're in a situation like Jay Vidal and you're just newly signed to Impact Wrestling, you've broken out on the national scene, how much pressure is on you right here where you're almost expected to win as the challenger?
Yeah, it's one of those things where all the pressure's on Jay. All the pressure's on Jay. What you forget is the champion can get disqualified and still kick his belt. Jay has to win.
Vidal arguably has the quickness advantage here. Levy a bit more crafty and has been around a bit more inside the ring. But Vidal has an excellent opportunity here to really seize the moment. And we've certainly seen some incredible moments here inside the CCW arena for the various breakout events over the last nearly 2 years, including Cha-Cha Charlie flying off the top of the building and crashing through a table in his war with Ariel Levy. But that was nearly a year and a half ago, a completely different time in CCW. And Ariel Levy, the top star here in Coastal Championship Wrestling, he is the champion. And this is the type of talent, this is the type of matchup that Jay Vidal is going to face on a weekly basis on Impact Wrestling.
Well, this is the type of talent that he's going to meet here at CCW. CCW has as good a locker room as I've ever seen.
As Levy eats the boot there of Vidal, and JAI, we're going to take a minute there, and what a transition, what a shift in midair. He was trying to springboard off the ropes, lost his footing, and then came right off the mat, still executed the suplex, and nearly won the title. As Vidal going after Levy again, but the heavyweight champion, we're going to take a bit of a breather here. And Vidal looks to find the opening. And he flies right through the air.
That had to take something out of the champion, that's for sure.
That's how big this bout is for Jay Vidal. He's going to do it once. How about twice? Tope suicida to the outside. But Kevin, he has to remember the title cannot be won on the outside of the ring with these stipulations. And Vidal will the third time be a charm. And Levy saw it coming, and that sort of craftiness, that sort of talent is exactly why Levy's at the top of the mountain here in CCW.
I think Jay went to the well one too often.
A bit overzealous there was the challenger. And now Ariel Levy nearly decapitates Vidal as he says he's the champ we deserve. As far as I'm concerned, he's the champ we don't deserve, but that's neither here nor there.
How quickly this match has changed.
And Vidal on the receiving end of a beating on the outside. And Ariel Levy tossing Vidal into this steel guardrail, leaping off the top rope onto the ring apron. That sort of offense, that's not something we would have seen 6 months ago from Levy.
Well, Levy has obviously changed his tracks, but he's become a fighting champion, and I'm not taking anything away from him.
Go back about 6 weeks, Kevin. You were the special referee for Ricky Martinez, Ariel Levy for the heavyweight title down in Hialeah. What sort of tactics did you see in the ring that weren't necessarily on the up and up?
A lot, but you gotta give leeway to him. He's the champion, and like I said before, to win the belt, you gotta beat the beautiful clothesline.
And Vidal trying to pick up some momentum right here. And Levy, once again, finds a shortcut and puts himself right back in control. Whoa! And Vidal, for I believe the third time in this match, has found himself on the floor here. As Noah Cinto is administering his count, and Jay Vidal, that's a kiss he certainly wanted to miss.
I don't think he's going to get back in the ring.
As Vidal goes face first, essentially right there, into those steel steps. And now Levy doing some calisthenics. How insulting is this to the challenger?
I think it's also his way to play games with Jay. And he's just taking the stairs and ate them. Now he's prancing around the ring showing off.
Levy certainly wouldn't mind skating out of town with a count-out victory. I don't think this is how Jay Vidal was envisioning putting a bow on his year. And we just saw the count out with Andrew Anderson and Eddie Valentine at the double variety. But Jay Vidal, at just about 9 seconds, pulls his body back inside the ring. But he's on the receiving end of Ariel Levy offense here. And those shotgun knees might have just caused some serious whiplash. And the T-bone suplex puts Vidal right out.
I think this is it.
This could be it. Levy 1, 2. Oh! And Vidal hangs on, and he's not quite done yet. Huge opportunity for Vidal here against Ariel Levy, really showing he can hang with the big boys in the heavyweight chip.
It shows the heart that Jay has, the determination, and the athletic ability he has.
And Vidal trying to pick up the intensity a bit here, but Ariel Levy stomps on the fingers. Kevin, we just talked about dropping weights on toes. That's just as bad. As Vidal here trying to put himself in position maybe for that power monobomb.
If Jay can get up, he's got the momentum right now. He may be able to.
The champion is down and the challenger is down here, Kevin. This main event is hanging the balance in Pompano. As Levy trying to pull himself to his feet. Vidal struggling to get to a vertical base. Our official checks in. It looks like they're both going to continue. And Vidal colliding with Levy once again. And look at Levy putting on the brakes here. Kevin, Ariel Levy might be sensing desperation. That title slipping out of his grasp.
Yes, but that was a great block by the champion. That was lights out. Jay, cover him now. Do not play to the crowd. Cover him.
As that dragon suplex nearly fully executed there by Jay Vidal. And Levy now, Blue Thunder Bomb, that's gonna do it too. And Vidal once again, he will not quit.
He will not quit. Put the words
And there's a brainbuster, Kevin, rearranging the skull of Jay Vidal.
Where is he getting this intestinal fortitude? Come on, Jay.
And at this point, how much gas can be left in the tank? That meter has to be on E.
For both of them. For both of them right now. This could go either way. Whoever makes the first mistake, the match is over. They've taken this, like you said, to the limit. They're out of gas.
And Levy here, you can almost sense the desperation. It's written all over his face. And Vidal, nowhere near 100%. Levy going for the double knees. Vidal has it well scouted. In a precarious position here. Oh, wait. Levy there, just raking at the face of Vidal. Really trying to pull anything out of the back page of that playbook. And Vidal, Kevin, if he makes the cover, we are new champion! No! 2 3/4.
That's the closest I've ever seen to an air pig.
Right on the cusp. If we had instant replay, we would need to take a look. Standing room only here in the Pompano Beach in the CCW Arena. And Vidal could be one power bottom bomb away from the richest prize in the Southeast. Levy's lifeless body. Oh, Levy! He grabs him, stacks him up. He's got a handful of tights. But that's not enough. And Levy's got him in position now. Vidal fighting for his life. Oh! The buckle bomb, and Vidal collides with the official. Noah Cinto is laid out, and there's no one to make a cover. And Levy comes right over here, Kevin. He just grabbed the physical. He grabbed the physical championship title. If he uses it, that's a disqualification, but there's no referee.
We all know what he's going to try to do.
And Levy goes for the home run swing. And Vidal, this is not normally a page out of his playbook.
Don't use it.
And Levy, the madman is begging for it. Vidal pastes him right across the face. He grabs the official. Levy's out. your CCW Heavyweight Champion. I can't believe it. He will, of course, be a part of six-man tag team action tomorrow night. But Jay Vidal, his final match in CCW here in 2022, he was hoping to leave on the highest of notes. But unfortunately, right when it looked like he was going to secure the victory in the championship, things went the other way.
I thought he was going to grab that brass ring. Unfortunately, he didn't.
He had his fingers on it, he was touching it, it was in his hand, but he couldn't pull it down completely. And it looks like he has something to say here to the fans of Pompano.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't win, but it was worth it to wrestle in front of my hometown crowd in the promotion that I started at. Ever since I was a kid, I just wanted to be a part of the conversation. I just wanted people to mention some of the best that mentioned my name. We're so far from that, but goddamn, we're on the road to it. From the bottom of my heart, without people here like Kevin Sullivan, like Willie, like Elliot, like Alex, like Eddie Valentine, like Qrow, I wouldn't be where I am, I wouldn't be signed with the pack. I'm going to be going back to the West Coast, but you know what? I'm going back to the West Coast with my head held high. Repping the CCW banner.
Thank you, brother.